Philadelphia Eagles took a nasty loss to the Denver Broncos in a 21-17 blunder at home, nonetheless. Hell of a game by the Denver Broncos. I was tweeting throughout the game just how close of a ball game this was and how Philadelphia just looked undisciplined and just not there. Listen, Jalen Hurts damn near threw for 300 yards against the quality defense in Denver. Devonta had 100 yards. You know, it was a clean game by Philadelphia on the offensive side of the ball in terms of passing. However, the rushing attack was putrid. 11 times, 45 yards to the Broncos, 29 times for 130 yards. They had 4.5 yards a carry. Own time of possession, 34 minutes, 25 minutes essentially, with a few seconds here or there. And in that fourth quarter, the Broncos scored 18 points unanswered. That's awful. That is awful, awful, awful. Not only by the defense, but by the whole football team, by the offense, by the coaching staff, by special teams, everybody. You cannot go in the NFL and let 18 points up in a fourth quarter. You cannot let up points and not have it go unanswered. Do you realize in this game, the Philadelphia Eagles ran the ball in the second half 2 times. You had a 14-point lead, and you ran the ball twice. That's awful play calling. That's awful situational awareness. That's awful execution, because when you did have big plays, you got penalties. When you did have a big shift in momentum, it got called back. When you had open plays, you either missed the throw or you don't run as hard on a route. And now that's going to be the talk of what's going on in Philadelphia. Whether or not there's any credence to this idea, if you just go run heavy, we're going to win. And if you go pass heavy, you lose. That's going to be the talk of the story. And what is up with A.J. Brown is going to be the next part of the story. Because that play on the streak where Jalen had the ball for like 5-6 seconds and he still missed the throw and AJ slowed up on his route. It's a bad look, especially when everyone in the outside world has been saying, hey, A.J. Brown, you've been wanting the football. You wanted to throw it. You wanted to be involved in the game. Well, here you go. Here's your opportunity. And then you don't make up the play. It's a bad look. Now, I'm not going to kill guys like AJ and Jalen and the rest of this offense in terms of their execution to a point. But I am going to say, like, hey, this is what you asked for. You better go out and execute, and you didn't. And you lost the football game to an inferior football team, albeit the Broncos are good. Sean Payton now coached us. Sean Payton now coached Vic Fangio and Nick Sirianni. Bo Nix outplayed Jalen Hurts in the second half. And the fact that it was even close at the end of the game to a point where it came down to a Hail Mary that hit Devonta and AJ in their hands in a crowded bunch is miraculous. Awful game. Awful game by the Philadelphia Eagles. Hell of a win by the Denver Broncos. Kudos to them because they deserve every single amount of praise for that game because they fought hard in that football game. And we're going to dive in a little bit more into this game and some of the repercussions of it and what it potentially means for us down the line for this football season. But before we do that, let's introduce the show. This is the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I'm your host, Asif Badi, and like you, I'm a Birds fan who talks about the Birds, only the Birds, and nothing but the Philadelphia Eagles. So please do us a favor here. Help us grow this channel organically by shooting this video a thumbs up, commenting your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel. Also, check us out on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and leave a 5-star review because in the end, it doesn't cost you a damn thing to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So we thank you for your support on the opposite side of the camera and on the opposite side of the airwaves. As mentioned before, the Philadelphia Eagles got outrushed in this game. Saquon Barkley only touched the ball in the second half 2 times. And we had 18 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. And we had killer penalties in that fourth quarter. People are going to try to kill Quinyon Mitchell against Cortland Sutton. I will not. Cortland Sutton's an underrated wide receiver, an underrated football player. The guy can play. He's big, he's lanky, he's savvy, knows defenses, has a hell of a catch radius, and very reliable hands. tough matchup for any cornerback. In the first half, though, I thought Q did a good job on him. And then in the second half, started finding weaknesses in the zone, started, taking stuff underneath. And then when they needed a big play, when they needed a big time third down, you saw the fade route to Courtland Sutton on the right sideline. Bo Nix threw it right up over the top. Quinyon was there, but Courtland Sutton just made an excellent catch. Hell of a play by him that kept their drive going where we didn't have any timeouts on our last defensive possession. And it gave them an opportunity to take the go-ahead field goal to get 21 points. Obviously, Evan Ingram scored a touchdown on that drive, right? Or on the drive beforehand, on a little tight end screen route. And again, this offense, man, I don't know what to make of it. You're up 17-3 at the end of the third quarter, and you only run the ball twice with the offensive player of the year prior, who had the single season greatest rushing yardage performance for a football player and a football team in 2503 or 2509, whatever it was. Forgive me. I'm just annoyed about this loss. This offensive line does not look the same. Clearly, Landon Dickerson's compromised enough where now he's not going to be able to play. Well, he didn't play the rest of this Broncos game. I would advise him not to play against the Giants. I would advise him to sit out the next couple of games because he just looks beat up. Hurt ankle, hurt knee, hurt back, hurt. I mean, how many more things do you need to get hurt to get the hint? Jordan Mailata's not playing the same football. Cam Jurgens is not playing the same. This football team looks undisciplined. And that's really been the key takeaway in these 4 games. You look at these 4 games, and let's kind of look at it in terms of the macro, in a sense here. This 2025 version of the Philadelphia Eagles is clearly not the same team as it was last year. Obviously, you had the lack of veteran leadership in the locker room from last year to now. You tried to fulfill these signings with patch-up type signings, right? Although, to be fair, Azeez Ojulari played okay today. Zadarius Smith was big impact in the game today. Guys made plays who were there. And again, when you give up 21 points in the NFL, that's a good number as a defense. If you're a defense and you're saying, hey, I gave up 21, my offense should win the game, you're absolutely right. You should. And going 18 unanswered in the fourth quarter, as much as you want to kill the defensive side of the ball, let's look at the offense led by no other than this guy, Jalen Hurts. 23 of 38, 280, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And then you got to look at A.J. Brown, too, who he had a pedestrian-type game. Albeit you're going up against Patrick Surtain. No excuse. This is exactly what they wanted. This is exactly what they called for. This is exactly what every Eagle fan called for in terms of offense in the passing game and their aggressiveness, throwing the ball down the field. And it looked good. I'm not denying that the passing game didn't look great. However, when you're up 17-3, you can't run the ball with Saquon Barkley only 2 times. That's the offensive player of the year from last year. The main reason why, or one of the main reasons why we won the Super Bowl last year was on the backs and on the legs of Saquon Barkley at 2,500 yards in that season. And he only gets the ball 2 times in the second half with a lead. What the hell is up with this play calling? You either run it so damn much to a point where it's almost arrogant and nothing works, or you pass it so damn much and completely take situational awareness out of the equation and abandon your bread and butter. It's stupidity. It's stupid play calling. It's stupid game planning. The penalties are putrid. Players are not executing. And you could see these players are getting frustrated. On the last drive for the defense, Zach Baun with a stupid-ass penalty. He's clearly down, and you go for a headshot. Continues the drive for them. And on the offensive end, illegal man downfield. Illegal man downfield. false starts, illegal shifting with Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown on that big Devonta play. Not only is that a reflection on the players and their execution, but mainly what it is a reflection on coaching. This loss to the Denver Broncos today falls not only on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and everybody calling for the passing offense, but on the coaching staff. The coaching staff's incompetence in terms of offensive play calling, their offensive play design, because the Broncos figured you out in the second half. They did. And awareness by the coaching staff. Understanding the situation. Understanding the flow of the game. You ran the ball twice with a 2-possession lead, and you have Saquon Barkley in your backfield. It's pathetic, is what it is. It's a damn shame, is what it is. And now you got the Giants on Thursday, who's not going to be an easy out, by the way. Now, the good thing for Philadelphia is that they have Jackson Dart on the opposite sideline that they got to play on Thursday night. Now, I saw Jackson Dart play against the Chargers. We went there for my brother's birthday. That kid cannot throw the ball. He really can't. They don't want him throwing the ball. So it's a run-heavy game. However, with the way this defense has not been able to stop the run, particularly on the edges, and you could tire out the interior of this defensive line because Cam Scatterbo is walking CTE. That guy's going to ram his head time after time after time again. He's going to go ahead and try to beat you up. He's going to make you hurt. It's a physical football team in New York because that's what it calls for. And their front seven is no joke. And you have Landon Dickerson who's hurt. You have Cam Jurgens who's hurt. This offensive line is not playing the same as it did last season. And you're going up against a front that's super aggressive, that feels confident in their quarterback, that they have a new sense of energy, and they smell blood in the water. You're coming off a huge loss by Denver. You got a short week playing against the division rival on Thursday Night Football where anything can happen. Don't sleep on this game if you're Philadelphia. You need to go out and in that Giants game and really put your foot to the pedal. That's the only way it's going to erase the bad taste in your mouth after this loss. Lastly, let me talk about A.J. Brown. Brother, we love you in Philadelphia. Everybody in Philadelphia loves you. You cannot give the perception that when things are not going exactly as you want them to, you're going to go ahead and pout. And you're going to go ahead and not run your routes as hard as you can. And you're not going to finish plays. Look, the play calling sucks. The offensive design sucks. Totally with you. There's no offense in the NFL that runs as uncreative of an offense as we do. And by we, I mean Philly. And you're a top 3 receiver in all of football. And you deserve better in terms of play design. However, that should not stop you from getting busy. That should not stop you from going out there and taking care of your business. Devonta Smith did whatever he needed to do to get the job done. We expect the same, if not more, from you, A.J. Brown. You're too good of a player. You're too great of a player. You're too much of a leader in the locker room to sit there and pout. And while I'm not going to kill you on the fly ball that Jalen missed to you, at the same time, it ain't like he didn't throw a decent ball. If you just kept running, he probably would have hit you in stride. But you slowed down at the top of your route. You didn't think you were going to get the ball. And then when you finally saw the ball in the air, you couldn't burst like you normally do because your hamstring is probably compromised from what it was like all offseason. You can't take plays off. That's your thing, AJ. You cannot take plays off, and you cannot look pouty on the sideline. You have to be engaged. You are a leader in the locker room. You need to be better. And now you got a team like the Giants who have nothing to lose. They're playing with house money, and you came off a bad loss against the Broncos. This is not going to be an easy game on Thursday night. I would have felt much better about Thursday night if Philadelphia won against the Broncos. But now that you lost, this may linger a little bit more because of what's going to happen on social media and what's going to happen in terms of questions and press conferences in the locker room. And I mentioned this on a couple episodes ago when I was talking about the Bucs game and talking about the Broncos game afterwards. Philadelphia right now seems to be not only worrying about football, but having outside worries as well. And that leads to big problems down the line. It won't manifest itself now because a loss to an AFC team, a Denver Broncos team, I'm cool with losing a game every now and then. It's the way that you lose is the problem. And the way that they lost today is problematic. Because if that doesn't get fixed, you're never repeating as champions. No one will fear you by the time December and January roll around. You're too good of a football team to not be feared. And in that second half, you saw the Broncos had no fear. They felt very comfortable with the way the game was flowing. They felt very comfortable with the way that the game was playing out. The team who looked like they were in a panic was the Philadelphia Eagles. And that shouldn't be the case when you have all these guys on offense. And when you have Jalen Hurts, who again, I thought played well today and was one of the main reasons why you're in this ball game. But you know what, dude? Stop taking so many freaking sacks. Stop taking awful sacks. Throw the ball away every now and then. Get the ball out of your hands a little quicker. You do that, this offense could be much better on track. But you keep looking for the long ball. And I know you're elite at it. But geez Louise, man, this offense on all fronts, and it's been struggling since the offseason. Looks like shit for no reason. And if it's true that by December, Frank Reich's going to be in the building, and if this freaking team, I swear to God, if this freaking team is waiting and mullying around for December for Frank Reich to come in and save the day, you're never winning a freaking championship this year. That's bullshit. Good God. Woosah. Let me get my composure back. I know I went all episode saying I'm not upset about how we lost. I'm upset about how we lost. I'm upset about the way that we lost. If you lose a game to the Broncos, no shame in it. If you lost the game to the Bucs, no shame in that. Hell, if you lose on Thursday night, I'll be a little upset. But you know what? Those types of things happen. It's how you lose. 5 attempts for Saquon Barkley, 2 in the second half, is horrendously stupid. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of system you run. I don't care what kind of game plan you have orchestrated. If you're up 2 scores in the NFL and you have Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia, you give him the damn ball. It's what you do. For heaven's sake. Nothing drives me more up a wall than seeing stupidity play out. And that's what we're seeing in Philadelphia right now. And it's mind-boggling because this team's too talented, too good. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm gonna take a chill pill and decompress. Because if I sit here and talk about this team right now any longer, I'm going to lose my damn mind. I might throw something at the damn computer screen. So I'm going to end it here. But let me know what you think in the comment sections below. Because this was a really tough loss for Philadelphia, the way it went down. And this offensive scheme and design and play calling, it ain't it. It better get fucking fixed. Because this team is too freaking good for it to be in the hands of this inept type of offense. It's a damn shame. A damn shame. Hey. Thank you so much for watching the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. If you want to continue to support the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Riding the Bench Eagles Pod. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. Thank you so much for listening, and please join us next time here at the Riding the Bench Eagles Podcast.